themselves to remove
They need some sort of
Navi.
defensive support if they do give them the Beastmaster.
Okay, we are gonna find out if the Beastmaster is gonna get given away because the draft is on the way. Beastmaster and Lone Druid removed by Navi themselves, who have first pick. Decided not the first pick Beastmaster, but they first picked Nature's Prophet instead.
Maybe General's getting a bit bored of winning.
No, he just said, oh yeah, actually he will play the Nature's Prophet. That means also Batrider is still in the pool, then that's a hero that I really like for Mag as well. He's a good Batrider.
Yeah.
I think you should try to pick up the Wisp here in the first phase.
For Vega?
Yeah, it's really good against Furion overall.
Picking... And then pick what, like really aggressive cores? Because
you can pick whatever. Like
I think you need to be aggressive against Navi. You need to match them.
Yeah, exactly.
And they already have one of their favorite heroes for Diddy Ra. Yeah, do you think Diddy Ra will play it, sure?
The Nature's Prophet?
Yeah.
I like that they can both play it. I think most recently it was Diddy Ra playing it.
He played it pretty much all the style, like that was his hero.
Yeah.
It just allows for aggression everywhere, and then you can push after it.
I think they're playing a bit passive with the Invoker as well. Like he was not active.
No.
It was just the Sunstrike all game.
And they weren't coordinating the Sunstrike very well.
So then what is he? Like meh.
Okay, so the obvious heroes that Navi like at this stage of the draft are Venge, so maybe Vega counter pick with a Venge. It's because the push with Venge, you can pick like any
is
core.
good. Or Spirit is good.
Venge is a support that would otherwise also get banned out, I believe.
Yeah.
So if they want it, they should pick it up right now.
Yeah, there's like what, Earth Spirit, Venge,
Vassal is pretty good
Oracle.
as well.
These are like the three kind of supports that are huge in these two teams.
Now looking towards Navi, we've seen a lot of Lycan and Drow Ranger banned out against them. What would you really like? Because if you're going to assume the Nature's Prophet is played by Ditya Ra, what kind of core would you like to see for Dendi, for example, to go with it?
Well, if you have General, depends on General's hero, I think, the most. Because if he has the catch hero, like the playmaker, like the Beastmaster or the Batrider, well, he can't get the Beastmaster in this game, but the Batrider is still in the pool.
Ooh, they also run, of course, the Dendi, Magnus, and Juggernaut for General sometimes as well. Whoa, that's
But if they get the global, oh boy.
Yeah. This is so scary.
Vega Squadron's turn to ban.
Are you now forced to ban out
I forgot the question.
The question was which hero would pair up good with it for
yeah,
Dendi.
you need the space, the catch hero, like someone like a Puck, someone like that can find the picks to set up for the teleports.
Puck is good. Queen of Pain is good.
Yeah.
How much emphasis should Vega put on banning out other global heroes?
I think you want to ban out the hero that gives vision and finds the hero. Like
Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter, someone like
does Zeus count?
Zeus does.
Bad is a really good ban for Vega.
A Baden?
Bat.
Oh, Bat. Yeah, Bat is the.
But I think CK is pretty scary as well. Like if now you would decide to pick up this Chaos Knight.
And if they're still gonna put the Nature's Prophet on General, then they still have Tiny options. We saw them play Tiny earlier this week, and it was great.
Do people still do Doom Lich?
5 seconds remaining.
No.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
So I mean, never say never, right? But
that was ridiculous. Don't even remind me. It's so boring. It's like, oh, I'm just taking
It's so good.
It's really, really good, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that's they're
I
gonna
think
keep
you have
it.
to ban the Batrider.
Maybe they want to take it themselves. It's still in the pool.
I think Navi first pick it straight away. Like.
But Vega has the first pick after the things.
This could be the Ursa game as well.
They do.
Ursa boys.
Oh, I would really like to see an Ursa. I hope you mean for Vega. No?
No, I was talking about Wisp Ursa for Navi.
I would really like to see FN Ursa.
Oh, maybe Death Prophet, like a hero that doesn't really care about the Doom. You ulti. It's really good with IO. You can sustain very long during the fights.
Do you go Disruptor here or Witch Doctor? I think Disruptor is really good.
Against the IO, the Disruptor is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So.
Even Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
There's the Disruptor. And the Bane instantly.
That's the setup for the relocator, the Nature's Prophet team.
That means that you need to get your vision from something else.
Okay.
There's the bat still.
There's the CK.
Well, this goes fast.
They're not hesitating. And we were pretty on point as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a Dendi hero left. Probably Puck ban, most likely.
Puck against Batrider?
Even
or against Disruptor?
Is Zeus not still an option here as well? Puck is removed. Jugger is removed.
Vega
they want-
turn to pick.
Maybe
think-
Slark?
Maybe
No.
Marana again. I mean, Dandy Marana,
Navi?
we've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, they could, definitely.
I mean, this is a general Nature's Prophet then. Ditchera, CK.
I think that Prophet's still very good for a Navi against like Batrider's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's true.
Batrider's pretty good. We have the
10
relocate save.
seconds remaining.
It's really good if you get doomed. You don't really care. You get silence.
You
doesn't
want
matter.
like a
Seconds remaining.
beefy frontliner.
Yeah.
Already looking at the supports and possible rotations now, how much
Reserve
impact do you
time.
feel like Dandy's hero should have? I mean, for example, last game we saw Ditchera Marana. In theory, could have been replaced with any other hero because the emphasis was all on generals, Beastmaster. So, in relation to that, how much? Oh, they did it! Got him! They listened to us yesterday. That's good.
Oh
I like that.
boy.
Damn.
Nice.
I like it.
What was the last pick for Vega again? Oh, Jericho.
Gyro.
I'm totally thrown off guard there. I like that.
Damn.
But why does it fit here? Because is it a
Because
troll
Dandy
pick?
wanted to play Pudge.
And they have good setup with Bane if they just want to roam, and Pudge is also a good setup for relocate, so it's
Yeah.
like...
All right, let's go.
Yeah?
Batrider's dragging someone away. You just hooked them back.
Are we on the Pudge train?
Yeah, let's go.
Pudge train.
Yep.
Pudge
Navi.
train.
I think so.
Oh,
Let's
Navi.
go.
We're not giving Vega any chances here.
Sorry, Vega.
Screw being devil's advocate. I am gonna go for Navi as well, just like the rest. Let's hear what the commentators have to say about Pudge. It is time for game 2. And the last game that Navi has to play here in League Play, it is Vega versus Navi. Let's
5
go.
seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Prepare for
Pudge
battle.
Watch is finally over. Andy, the panel, they've been begging for Dandy, please pick Pudge. And now Navi do it. They don't need this game. They put $1,000 on the line here, and they say, we're going to go with the Dandy Pudge. What do you think? Is this a Pudge game?
No. No game is a Pudge game. In all
Not a
honesty, I think that the hero is really strong outside of the laning phase if you're not going mid. Like, he's a good roamer. I think he's okay in offlane. He can even be played as support, honestly. But mid, he just loses to everything. But keep in mind, Navi are notorious for helping their core players. So Dendi obviously getting a lot of help. And then sometimes they prioritize general. So
I mean,
this
we
game,
might see a quad lane mid. We
Yeah,
could see the IO coming in, the Prophet TP, the Bane smoke gank.
I could see that happening, in all honesty. Like they were saying, Nightmare at the hook is good. You know, just having, you know, Dendi send him to the safe lane maybe if you don't want to go straight up against the Invoker, because CK will just do much better in that matchup. And then, you know, he gets level 6 or 7, goes around, you smoke, you hook, you know, kill heroes, whatnot. CIS Dota. But it's fun, you know. It's something that might not be the strongest pick, but it should be a good time.
I felt like it's Starladder, you know, there's a lot of kind of old school picks. Alliance, there's a moment, it's like maybe Alliance could go deep in this tournament. Navi ended up getting to the grand finals. Gods was saying, 2013, maybe it's coming back. The Dandy Pudge is back. We're going old school here in Dota 2. Let's go. Navi versus Vega. Game 2 is underway. Vega, this is a must-win here at DreamLeague. Very important for them to have a good shot at advancing, and still, VP will have their own destiny potentially within their control. Should Vega lose, they'll be in great shape. So, underway we are. Vega Dire, Navi Radiant. Wards have been planted, and they are going to go CKIO, so addressing your big concern about the Pudge mid, we're not going to see him there. He's going to be bottom.
You honestly just can't put him mid. He just gets demolished. If he gets a decent laning phase, though, and you get, you know, level 7 or whatever, you go around, you land a few hooks, you can have a huge impact. And Retroactive Flesh Heap is really strong. You get it maxed out now. It's 2.5 strength per kill, as long as you're within that radius.
And Dendi already getting to work here with the Rot and going for the auto attacks, but the Napalm proving to be quite the nuisance, as in the mid lane we see no one. Already getting pulled back in. He's opted for the Quas level 1. We'll have to see what the overall build is. Maybe the Quaswex Invoker pokes
I think
his head
he'll go
out.
Exort. Like, I think if you have Batrider, Exort's just so good. Because you get a lasso into a Sunstrike for free every time. Oh, he's going Quaswex, okay.
Commentator's curse. If you
Yeah.
hadn't said it, it would have been Exort, but he heard you
It's
and
still
he
good.
like,
Like,
make you look bad.
It's good against CK, it's good against Bane. A lot of low mana pool heroes on the side of Navi, of course.
Yeah, and they do have a bit of a greedier draft, so it's something they could fight earlier as well. Speaking of fighting earlier, General, he's got the Triad army here. Doesn't care all that much about the Rocket Barrage, but the problem is just the regular auto attacks. He jukes into the trees. Whoa, he gets stunned by Solo. Denied the first blood. One more auto attack was about to come out. but good timing there by the roaming Doom, who gets on the board first. 1-0 for Vega.
If he got that kill, I would have probably just like gotten up and left. Like, all right,
Nature's Prophet. I mean, first he gets the oh, they're going for the sleep here. Artstyle was threatening.
this is a super scary lane, honestly, even for a bat. Normally, bat's able to punish lanes. We see no one taking some autos here middle lane, but it's one of those things where if you do get Nightmare, you can die very easily, especially with the Pudge already having boots. But
And they don't really have the best like counter ganking supports. You know, there's no Dazzle or Witch Doctor, so you can tower dive pretty easily, at least at this early stage. The Disruptor dropping very low here. It looks like. Comes the suicide. All right, he's gonna get the free TP back to the lane.
efficiency, man. Can't waste any time.
Yeah, General's okay with that as well because the lane's pushing in, so he's still getting his experience here in the off lane. Level 3 already with the boots.
I mean, Bat Rider's level 1, so...
Yeah, he's having a much better time. He's actually already back to the jungle. It's like the walk of shame for offlaners everywhere.
It's one of those things where you're just so not accustomed to playing against a Pudge that you forget how scary the hero can be in lane if he has the support. It's like one setup, you get hooked, you're just dead. I mean, sure, you can fly off into the trees and hope for the best, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to live through that. So just respecting the power of the safe lane Pudge. Actually, it's more of a mouse sports thing. Back when Black used to play for them, TI2, TI3, they ran the safe lane Pudge, and he was not nearly as good as he is now. Like, Pudge is way better now than he was.
Yeah, talk to me about that a bit. So, the old Pudge for Dendy was basically like you'd get level 7 and he would just start buying smokes and constantly going for ganks. Should the Pudge approach pretty much be the same? Is what makes him stronger to you? Is it just the Aether Lens or anything else?
Aether Lens makes his combo much stronger. You do a ton more damage. Obviously, the ultimate now has built-in Aghanims. Not the same effect. It's 50% of the value, or 60, but you still have an insane amount of durability as long as you don't get interrupted here.
Oh, they make a move onto Noah, but he's going to turn this. Solo was ready. The trap spins from. They bring down one. Now looking for another. At the same time, Nature's Prophet clips back. Great play there by Serum of the Slayer. Securing a kill in the IO and not letting them find the counter kill, and Solo even dives a bit deeper for this. Looking for the Bane, won't get the job done, but Vega, they were ready for that dive on the Invoker, and they will punish.
That was really nice reaction there from Vega. I mean, we still have yet to really see the rotation of the safe laner. I think when Dendy starts moving around, that's when Navi's lineup is really going to start to become a lot more scary. But you mentioned, buying smokes early on, using him to hook. I think it's probably going to be a lot of that, honestly. You walk around with the Bane, you walk around with the Pudge, or even the IO could work out. Oh,
speaking of the IO, good tether away there from Snako, dodging the EMP. Back when Dendy used to stream a lot, like you'd watch him play Pudge in pubs, and he would pretty much use all the smokes by himself.
Like 10 minutes.
He'd buy like all 4 of the first 4 smokes, and then it's like, guys, we actually need to smoke the team fight. But sometimes
who bought all
just
the
take over
smokes?
the game.
And then you just spam Dendy face, because obviously that's just what you do. In pubs, it's really strong though, because no one actually buys smokes in pubs.
Yeah, so at least they're getting some use,
Right.
Mid lane, getting the harassment. They've given this lane to Solo. Let's try to get in range for Reality Rift. And they have sent now the Bat Rider back to the woods, so bit of a lane switch up. Looks like Invoker's healing. Should be coming back mid any moment. Early dust on the IO.
Yeah, that one is for the Invoker, obviously. It's not so often that we see Quas Wex Invokers, but just guarantees the kill pretty much. Low levels of Wex don't really give you any movement speed bonus. In fact, low levels of Ghostwalk make you slower than normal speed, and then you get dusted on top of that, and you're just a snail. Yeah,
Snako just always prepared here. So only level 4 on the Invoker so far, has been under pretty heavy duress in the mid lane. And Artstyle now, he's seen the Batman's been missing, he finds a stack. We'll see if he looks to do anything with it. Just poor now as far as the Bane goes though, just a TP. But Maggie's farming elsewhere. It's cracked level 4, and they're gonna come in, bring the Nature's Prophet to bear, and spray a trap, or maybe steal the stack, we'll have to see.
I mean,
taking his time. The whole team's coming. Even the IO's coming. This is
why not, right? This is taking away value.
Poor Bat.
It's not like Vega are pressuring any lanes right now.
Oh, watch out for that clap. Trying to control the creep wave nicely, and
he's gonna come back there and be like, "Oh,
this is where you like leave the one tiny little troll there and just make them as sad as possible."
Oh, they're just taking it all, man.
Mercy
they don't care.
Navi, I guess, in a sense.
Mercy, and that the IO is level 5 at 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's actually a really good start.
And this is before the Pudge starts moving, who is, by the way, your highest net worth in the entire game for Navi.
Yep.
I mean, ready for some hooks.
This Doom can very easily die down here.
You mentioned the combo, the sleep to start it off. Dendi trying to get the max range hook, and he will. Pulls him back in, then starts chewing his way through Solo. Quick kill to get the Pudge on the board, but now the rotation comes from the gyrocopter, and then a bit off the mark there with the call down, as Na'Vi were able to foot it back out of there in time. At the same time, the hook back into the tower. Dendi's heating up. That's 2. Will he find the 3rd? FN continues to dive to steady up the mana here. He's got the rot to go to work, and they're going to cage the gyrocopter tower. Finishes him basically a triple kill for Dendi. Even with the CK even joining the fight now. Looking for the Chaos Bolt. Reality Rift on cooldown for some time, and he's getting fogged. It is nighttime. So it looks like, oh no, no one. He tried to juke, but he walked back into De'Ara as Dendi closes the gap. He's got the stick charges, doesn't need it. 4 kills here bottom. Na'Vi cleaning up suddenly. 1600 gold. That's the Aether Lens essentially done. Dendi off to the races already.
And being involved in all those kills just means like, oh, see some action here top lane.
Oh, Sam the Slayer in a lot of trouble. Sleep. Oh, juggle this one off and finish the job. So Na'Vi make it 5 kills all of a sudden.
Ooh.
Brutal.
Well, it's going to be rough because the more kill contribution Pudge has, obviously the tankier he becomes. And I think a lot of people underestimate how good Flesh Heap is when you're involved in those early game engagements.
Oh, Snako being chased here mid lane. Solo will find the kill. The call down comes through. They're going to doom De'Ara, who just tries to run away. Solo diving the tower, but he needs to back off. He can't sustain this level of damage. Nature's Prophet maybe can rotate in. And he's going to find another. Guts him straight through the Doom's mouth. Rips those teeth right out. And Dendi is officially on fire already, sitting 2-0-3, only 8 minutes in. Well, you said when the Pudge moves around, but Vega, they brought the feast to him.
Yeah, no kidding. And he's even got his smoke already purchased.
Yeah, it looks like he may be rotating soon. General trying for a TP out here. Bag, though, is going to be able to work together with Disruptor. 4 heroes, actually, to secure the kill, but now the Pudge on the prowl. Dendi's hungry.
This is the point in the game where he can solo kill pretty much any hero. Doesn't matter who it is. You hit
how,
Ether.
how do you play against this? Like, what's the best way to try and stunt the bleeding against the Pudge?
It's tough. I think 5-man Dota is even scary because you can just get hooked if you're not paying attention. Ideally, you actually want Chen and Enchantress on your team, or one of the others, so you can have like a creep line in front of you, stuff like that. Just anything to eat the hook. So normally just position closely to creeps.
Oh, it's daytime again. Dendi finds him, and then it's another for the Dendi Mon. And they even relocate. He pops to the eye of Snako, who ends up securing the last hit there.
They might have been expecting more heroes, honestly. But
I mean, good for Vega. They didn't have more. That could have been really ugly, it seems. With the gyro down, not sure they could have fought. But back to the mid lane where it was a pretty deep relocate. But Dendi with the hook back as the tether comes through. Mag blinking in though, manages to salvage the kill. Almost got away. You know, Dendi, he doesn't look rusty at all. And now we're seeing it. His Pudge is as fit as a fiddle.
honestly, a well-played Pudge is one of the most terrifying things in Dota. Like, they can single-handedly turn the game. He can actually carry as a Pudge as well, just because of how good he transitions in the late game. If you have a lot of fighting inside of the game, and even if you're dying a handful of times, it doesn't really matter. You get the maxed out Flesh Heap, you get like 20, 30 stacks, you get like 3k health.
And look at Vega, it's almost all magic damage. Like, unless Gyro gets insanely farmed,
Pudge
it's a great Flesh Heap game.
He's legit, man. Just don't put him mid. That's all I ask.
And have a Dendi on your team, or
Dendi's,
or something similar.
He's a player for sure.
Well, Solo moving up the ramp here as Vega looks to equal the score. They are going to find General sprouts himself inside the flames, right on top of the MTFT. How convenient. Tornado secures it, narrowly missing Arcstyle, though. They do get the last hit, and Arcstyle now walking forward. Dendi gets doomed, deleted from the fight. That's the hero you want to keep out as they run down the Bane, slice him up with the sword. Very well executed, but De'Ara is going to look to turn this. That Doom's ending fairly soon. They're going to pull him back in. Phantasm gets popped, gets the second illusion, and we'll go to work on Solo. Orbs crashing through. They just need one more poke in the eye. They get the kill. Well, they doom the Pudge, but they still end up losing one.
And that's the
and
one.
The relocate back towards top. Call down's coming though. De'Ara, the man in front, but he's walking right into a lot of magic damage, dropping quickly. Dealing with the Slayer very low in his own right. The tornado comes through, splits the wickets. Na'Vi dodge away from it. The Prophet ult as well connecting. De'Ara being forced to turn tail and run. And now General in deep, drops the trance, lays out Seoma. The Slayer turns back for no one. FN looking for the TP away. No, not gonna end up making it out. No one does get trapped, but Mag here to turn the fight. And then the grip, art style, locking him down, and he too will devour another and look from the river where Dendy's coming, trying to light up the hook. Is he going to save General or score the mag kill? What's it going to be, Dendy? It's going to be neither. He ends up hooking his buddy away, but the flames chase him to the end of the earth. There is a dismember ready, and even the creeps want a piece of this sweet solo action as art style gets involved, but actually solo able to ban by Dendy. Denies. Oh, classic punch. So frustrating. Doesn't even get the credit for the kill. Static Storm now dropped this fight. This case still going 11-14. The score in 11.5 minutes. And at long last, the disengage. They didn't even get the punch kill.
My God. This game.
Disgusting.
So the funny part about that was Dendy TP's top, he actually lands the hook on Shoma, but he just gets glimpsed back. So obviously can't dismember anything, he just sent back to bottom lane, and the relocate comes in without the use of the pudge, so a little bit unfortunate. I think Na'Vi probably would have taken the fight quite handedly had the glimpse not occurred, but more action here.
Now, General, he's taken over this Vega jungle, and now they tethered Nature's Prophet combo, as General does end up getting the kill in the end. Brings down the Disruptor, tried desperately to make it out, but no such luck.
So the big power spike for Pudge is actually like level 10, especially when you
that
are
first
involved
point in the flesh heap.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have pretty much an ogre club from getting that point.
Yeah, already involved in 11 kills.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for Pudge is you have to make sure you're really close to the heroes that die, because it's only a 450 radius. So if you're not like standing on top of them, you won't get the flesh heap pretty much.
And Vega are a fairly mobile lineup, so even if he gets the assist, does not necessarily mean that he's going to be in that range.
Right. Bet on the Blink Rider. It's only 12 minutes in. Reload bottom.
Blink Rider maybe need to rotate here to the bottom lane because FN's getting overrun. Na'Vi do find a kill, though they're fairly low, and Solo marches in, has the Doom available, goes to work with the Infernal Blade, bringing Dendy low. The IO keeps him in fighting shape, and they go right back. And we'll end up escaping. Very good control there on the IO, showing why Snako is truly one of the best, if not the best, IO players in the world. Na'Vi
just always have a good Wisp player, no matter what. Like every iteration of Na'Vi had an IO player.
You have to go back to like before IO was in the game to a time when maybe they didn't have one. Snako will get popped here mid though. Good counterplay by Vega. But it's only a support IO, and the cores of Na'Vi now a bit on top as Dendy low from distance gets no one again. There's just something about Pudge. Like you said, the hero can really change the dynamic of the game. It just gets in your head. It's not just about that death, it's about the next time he goes to farm the lane. You don't feel safe.
It's just constant pressure. He's one of the highest solo kill potential heroes, even with no farm. And that's what makes him terrifying, is the fact that he actually got farm priority in this game. It looks like he's rushing straight for the Aghanims, just wants to throw out the hooks non-stop. Definitely a solid build. Sometimes you see them go for the blink, sometimes you see him go for the hood into pipe, which I also think would have been really good against Vega's lineup. You already mentioned how much magical damage they have, but could just save it for the IO, I suppose, if he's getting some decent farm. Looks like he's almost got his mech done already.
Where do you go after the Ags, do you think? Is it the Ethereal Blade Pudge at some point? What's the build?
I mean, if you're super fat, E-Blade can do a ton of damage. But I think it's more just like you want a BKB maybe, just to make sure that you can get full duration dismembers off, because that's a huge chunk of your damage.
Here comes the smoke. Oh, no one. Just sidestepping the hook there. Now they're going to counter-initiate. They have found Dendy down to the river. Archspell also caught out. Insta-do on him. They bring the punch low, looking for the relocate save, but they end up dropping the punch as well as the Bane. Yara going to be next. Io's coming back. Oh, can they run him down? Blinking forward, roasting that Chaos Knight. Low, not dead just yet. Io there to keep him fighting chip, and suddenly he finds himself back in the middle of the river. It's almost like they forgot about him. Yara still living. Saneko's still living. How do they do it? They survive for hours and days, and well, until the IO goes pop. And General says,
man.
Yeah, forget about that, man.
CK's alive, dude. That's all that matters.
That was some sick armlet toggling.
Dude, he was afflicted by Infernal Blade and Urn, and he still toggled. Like, that's actually extremely difficult to do.
And this is not the old armlet with the insta toggle nonsense. Right. You know, you gotta time it right. Good stuff. But for General, this is bad stuff. Gets caught out with the lasso, called out coming through. And it looks like Prophet may be going down, though Archspell wants to turn this one around. He gets the grip off, I should say, on the mag. And now the sleep as Gyrocopter nearly pummels him to death. One last plink of that pesky little rocket, and we'll get the kill. So, Vega really matching Na'Vi in the aggression. It's been a wild, like, almost pub-tastic type of game, but they're keeping up pretty well, Andy.
It's Pudge Dota. That's what happens. Just turns into just full fighting mode, both teams. But I think a lot of this is also down to the vision. If you look at Vega's wards, they just have wards everywhere. They can see almost every single rotation coming out from the side of Na'Vi. And Na'Vi's one ward top doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot right now. tier 2 tower in the safe lane hasn't really been scratched, and I guess just due to the fact that Dendi's not playing like that mid hero with high impact and it's more dedicated to a farming type hero like CK, they just don't have quite the same aggressive potential, if you want to call it that. And they're also lacking that vision hero too.
Looks like a Vanguard completed for the Doom.
Yeah, this is a Crimson coming out.
Crimson Guard coming out to deal with the Chaos Knight, I suppose?
It's okay. I mean, it gives you a little bit of armor too.
Definitely an unconventional choice as they look for a glimpse, and they will find it in the mid lane, but there's the relocate save, and Na'Vi may set up and counter-initiate. They've TP'd in the Pudge as well. Nature's Prophet always able to arrive, so while these heroes will be going back...
Time the hook, let's go!
There's
that works too!
FN, they pull him in, they just lift it, and they jam him down with a quick stun from Dityara. However, they have caged the IO, bring him down. Now look for Dityara, who's doomed, and this time won't have a relocate save. Blasted as well, that's some hate. Your Chaos Knight will make it out. Artstyle, well, he rambles into the midst of Vega's entire 4-man squad. Now another glimpse grab with the Infernal Blade follow-up, laying into General. Dendi looking for the hook. He's going to find Solo, but can he kill him off? Now the Cold Snap. This is a Pudge's worst nightmare. Cold Snap with the rot going, taking too much damage. Infernal Blade, who do they want? It looks like they're going to turn the other direction onto General. They let Dendi live. They'd prefer to get the juicier target in the Nature's Prophet. Also, the squishier one. They bring him down, and now they look for Dendi too. It's 4 dead. It might end up being 5. No one with the triple. Mag on the chase. Goes for the rot, and I will again deprive them of the Pudge kill, but still effectively a full 5-man wipeout. Vega appear to be gaining the upper hand.
I would say so, yeah. The biggest issue I think that Dendi's running into right now is even if Pudge has a tremendous amount of health, he just has no base armor. So you're getting right-click down, you're getting hit by the Doom Infernal Blade. You can't really burst down Solo because he's got 1700 health as a Pudge, and he's usually the front line. He turns on the Scorched Earth, he walks forward, hits you with an Infernal Blade, which is also great against Pudge because it's max HP.
So
Doom is really good against Pudge, is what I'm saying.
As the game develops, is there a timer here? Is Na'Vi running out of steam? Generally, Pudge is not looked at as like a particularly potent late gamer. Can they take this later? Are they under the gun?
They can take it later for sure. I think CK is always going to be a huge threat, and he's going to be a high priority Doom target, which means Dendi is going to have more room in these fights to be able to function. But I think up until he gets, that Aghanim's done, he might even need to go back for an armor item just to increase his overall effective HP, or he might do what I said earlier, which is just go for the BKB. But Pudge late game is not to be underestimated. He does a ton of damage, as long as they're actually taking some kills. If you're dying in fights, that's fine, but Pudge also needs to be contributing in some way, because if he's not getting flesh heap stacks, his late game is going to be really weak.
Oh, Vega pretty comfortable with slowing the game down now. They've gotten the Crimson Guard on the Doom art style, trying to catch up here in the woods as Solo rotates down towards the bottom lane. Curious if Vega are going to look for a fight soon. Everything's come off cooldown now. The lasso is ready. It seems they're content with the slower pace.
Well, you have the Gyro, who's kind of like recovering now. He has died 4 times. Like FN's been the recipient of a handful of hooks this game, so his farm isn't insane. Yeah, I mean, he unfortunately for him, he's actually been the one who's gotten the most hooks. So with that in mind, it's kind of good for Na'Vi. And they're gonna buy another smoke. Then he's still closing in on his Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, what is the overall smoke situation? I feel like the teams have been chewing through quite a lot.
I think Na'Vi actually just bought their last one, yeah. So. They bought their last one. I think Vega, yeah, they don't have any either. But they might have one on a support. Yeah. So
theirs is coming off cooldown.
Yeah, no smoke for Vega, 1 smoke for Na'Vi.
So it will be a game where if the teams want to make moves, likely they're going to get scouted.
Yeah, but Dendi just solo smokes. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just smoking myself. Screw you guys.
Like I said, this is just classic Dendi and his pubs on the Pudge. At times it can be the way to go, though, where you show a lot of heroes, so you don't really expect that like solo smoking Pudge. Team's art style is actually joining.
Oh yeah, he is there. Okay.
So it's the buddy system, the old teammates working together.
It's a super strong duo actually, Bane Pudge.
Yeah. Well,
Vega
not gonna find anything.
They're doing the right thing though, because moving as 5 against Pudge is one of the best things, because you want to obviously hook into Dismember, and if the rest of Vega are just running at you, you're kind of forced into a spot where you're either going to get interrupted by a glimpse, or they're just going to doom you.
Or flame break.
That's why I was thinking BKB might be the choice after Ags. I don't even think, honestly, like his build, I don't know if you actually go Aghanims right after Ether, just because of this reason. Is because you don't have a blink for initiation, and you're relying solely on like immaculate positioning to land a good hook, whereas Blink lets you set up for the hook, and BKB just lets you get the free Dismember.
Well, they are going to make the jump here on the Dityara, looking for the relocate back, and Seneko It's going to keep his buddy alive for the time being. They also blitzed the era around that moment. So the hook comes in from distance and pulls him back, but he's already been doomed, and with the armlet on, he's got no health to work with. They won't be able to save their Chaos Knight. Down he goes again. The IO also falling. Vega just seemed to be having the easier time with the Batrider of getting these reliable picks.
Yeah, it's the difference in initiation that's making the game a lot easier for Vega. Because getting a Blink Batrider initiation is much easier than landing a Pudge hook. And with, again, no Blink on Dendi, it's just so hard to get into a good spot to just throw it out and make sure that you're going to hit it. Like, his positioning hasn't necessarily been bad, but you don't really want to hook the Doom because he's just pretty much unkillable at this point. You want to hit, like, the Disruptor, you want to hit maybe the Invoker or the Bat. Any of those heroes would be nice.
And even if you kill him, he's probably getting the Doom off, and it's a 4-position support, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a huge bounty by any stretch. As they do set up on a sleep. FN put under for a moment, but you can kind of feel the aggression has seeped out from Na'Vi. They're low on the smokes. They don't feel as confident in their position. They're not really making those bold plays we saw the first 10-15 minutes.
Well, I think it's one of those factors where when Pudge starts getting behind, and the enemy team is doing constant, like, 5-man fights, your combo doesn't really kill anymore. And when that happens, you usually want your Flesh Heap to carry you. You know, you just have so much health, and you can just keep Rod on forever. You're so tanky, they just can't deal with you anymore. But if the opposite happens and you don't have enough, and then your combo's not killing either, then you start to feel really, really weak in the game.
And this is a Pudge. It's not a Queen of Pain, not a hero that scales as well with farm. Also doesn't farm as quickly.
Yeah.
Or the Wind Ranger that we saw, that Denny's been playing a lot of lately. So he's a bit limited here in terms of his options, Andy.
This is when you start yelling at General to carry you and split push the lanes. Like, please just get the lanes out so I can actually, like, try to find a hook.
Unfortunately, this is a Vlad's Buckler Drums Nature's Prophet.
He's going mech too.
This is not exactly your traditional carry prophet.
Oh wait, he just has a casual buckler for pushing, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess he could push, but you know the way he's itemized, they wanted to 5-man around the prophet.
Yeah.
And it's just not really happening for Na'Vi.
Navi's game plan is always just aggression, no matter what. It's like, we want to fight. We're going to buy items that let us go 5v5 Dota. But when you start losing the 5v5 Dota, especially with these heroes, like Pudge especially, things start to get really rough. I mean, I suppose Dendi's going to have his Aghanim soon, which is nice. His damage output's going to go up tremendously. It's 450 damage with just a regular Aghanim's hook, and I think with Ether Lens it's close to 500 damage. So you're going to be hitting quite hard.
The meat hooks have slowed down a lot. Vega now moving towards the Roshan pit potentially, as we'll see no one closing on his own Aghanim Scepter. Now we know the Invoker X is going to have a big impact. Still remains to be seen if Dendi's will. As Vega just hunting. They're looking for General. Sunshine comes through, and it is going to get the vision they need. Now the Duke comes out, and General gets trapped. No army to back him up. Down he goes. Another pick. Vega, this Wrecking Ball just keeps on gaining steam. 27-16. At one point, Na'Vi was crushing.
It's looking like VP might be having a chance to make it into the top 3 here at DreamLeague if Na'Vi don't pull this game out.
Or Vega, rather, you mean?
Yeah.
So if VP, I mean, looking ahead at that, VP, even if they win 2 games, if Vega wins this one, they would be tied.
Yeah, I meant Vega, not VP.
So a win, only the 1 win here, and that's lights out for VP. Big match for Vega. They glimpse back art style, trying to isolate him. Dendi now on the way out. The tornado comes through, a bit off the mark, but they have thrown out the Veil of Discord, even through the Flesh Heap level 3. It doesn't matter. Dendi down. Na'Vi just pummeled again and again and again. This is looking ugly.
Well, they do have some pretty decent turnaround factor in the De'Ira CK. Like, if he gets a Lucky Phantasm, gets the extra illusion on top of BKB, I could see them actually doing well in a fight. But again, the issue is really the Pudge. And this is kind of the Achilles heel of a team that picks a Pudge, is if he's not playing amazingly, then he falls off. You know, it's how people used to view Mirana when you play him as a player as a safe lane, is if you're not landing arrows, you're not really doing anything. But that's actually not so true anymore, because Na'Vi have found a clever way of using it. But Pudge is like the total opposite. If you're not landing hooks, it doesn't matter. Like, you're just not going to have any influence in the game.
Yeah, it's... Even if he hits the hooks now, I mean, for Vega, they've got ways to deal with it. As you mentioned, he doesn't have the BKB, so the Dismember isn't something you can really count on. It feels like it's going to take Na'Vi just completely catching Vega off guard to turn this.
They can look to high ground defense. Ether Lens hook can catch you off guard. Like, if you get a smoke, or, you know, maybe he goes blink or something if he wants to be super sneaky about it. But you can definitely hook somebody into base and kill them straight up and force Vega back, buy some time. Because I do think that late game CK, if he doesn't get doomed, late game CK is a monster. You know, he can almost 1v5, I would say, Vega's team, if they don't have the right farm progression. But I suppose FN is sitting pretty right now on his farm and making his way towards MKB with also having Aegis. So all the timings for Vega are there. I feel like they can take at the very least, the outer tier towers at this point.
Now they are sitting still on the Aegis in reserve, so have that extra life to work with as Mag will move towards top now. As mentioned, did stop off for the Veil, which I think given their draft is a really nice pickup.
Yeah, so much synergy, honestly. Like even the Doom and the Scorched Earth, Invoker spells, Disruptor, Gyro, so much magical damage on your team.
Yeah, it's just a nice easy build up as well. So Vega push in and Mag scouts ahead. But nobody from Na'Vi here, they're gonna forfeit that tower. They do not want to fight into the Aegis. They will glyph, slow things down, send the Prophet to the bottom lane. General looking to spread the map, but Vega playing group up offense. And this may have to come defend soon.
This is how you do it if you're playing against Pudge. Just 5-man Dota. Have a super tanky frontline hero like Doom. I actually don't think there's a worse hero to play against this Pudge than Doom. I think he's actually just the worst hero.
Yeah, that between that Invoker and Batrider, like these heroes just give Pudge fits later on in the game.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the Napalm turn messing you up, the Lasso pulling you out of position, the Doom just ruining you, and then the Cold Snap. We already saw how annoying that could be.
Yeah, you hook Doom and he Infernal Blades you, you lose like 3/4 of your health because of Scorched Earth and all that, and you're just like, well, I'm dead.
Speaking of the hooks, he does find one. It's at a good angle, but FN with the quick BKB. They're now going to go with the Cast Knight pops his own BKB, but still gets lassoed wall BKB. The illusion's caved in by FN on the Durcopter, and now committing all sorts of resources to try to bring down Yara. Look for the armlet toggles. Can he get it up? Looks like he should be able to survive. Now Stendy trying to turn this, but he does get the Doom pick in the end. So that's something at least, but FN runs down the Darkcopter. 2 supports down, finds another hook, brings down no one as well. Can he get FN too? No buy. Actually, they do have a buyback on the Invoker, but it seems like the Darkcopter should be fast enough to get away. Popping the drum charge as well. Bottom lane, General was looking for the TP out, but it looks like it won't be an easy one. Close, no cigar. Vega make it 3 for 2, but he managed to get a melee Rex. Did the Triad army coming through? Bulldog would be proud.
How are they winning?
Happening?
How are they winning this game?
3 to 3.
Okay, so I was kind of thinking Aghanims maybe wasn't the item. Turns out it was definitely the item when you're defending high ground. Because he landed like 4 hooks in a row. Like he hooked the Doom like 2 or 3 times. And then he also lands a hook on no one and gets him killed. So FN's like forced into this really awkward base dive, has to pop his BKB before Aegis. And then after that, he respawns and he's like, oh, I actually just can't do anything anymore. I have to run.
I mean, was it a mistake for Vega to high ground there? Because not only did Dendy play amazingly on the Pudge, but Prophet was split pushing bottom.
Yeah, they should have just backed. But I think they were a little bit overzealous with their opportunity. They're saying like, okay, our Gyro has Aegis. We can definitely push faster with this many heroes. But again, high ground Pudge, you cannot let yourself get pulled that far out of position. And you know, with that team fight win, he just all of a sudden has Ogre Club. He's making his way towards BKB, sitting on 2,000 extra gold. He was broke when he bought Aghanims. That team fight happens.
And this man is not hitting creeps. He's got 100 CS.
I don't know, man. This is if Na'Vi turn this game, I don't even know.
If they turn this game, I think Vega are going to be very demoralized. They're so close. They just need the one game.
The thing about the BKB on the Pudge is that there's really only one way to stop him, and you know that requires a lasso. So you don't really want to use a lasso on a Pudge. You want a lasso like the CK potentially, and then doom him, or you know even the IO would be fine.
Yeah, if you commit all that, I mean that's where maybe we do see the relocate save. So far they've mostly been focusing the CK and the recent engagements, but hey, if your CK just gets to do his thing in the fights, you'll be pretty happy. So one lane of Rax already broken open as General will dodge away from the Batrider, and Arcspell's going to spring and counter trap. They relocate in, looking for the mag grab, and they will find him while Dendy holds the line to the bottom lane. The Hera, though, pretty low here. So Nako, can he bring him out to safety? BKB gets popped. He's going to have to leave him behind. He does get finished off in the end. The IO ends up relocating out, and well, General doing that rat thing, working on the range Rax here.
My God, this is so annoying actually for Vega.
It's so like
they can't TP. Are you kidding me right now?
He didn't even build to rat. He built a buckler, a Vlad to the drums, and now he's Blink Dagger Maelstrom just split pushing the map.
He sold his buckler, ends up going for the blink as well. Oh man,
what a good mid-game adjustment from Na'Vi.
Honestly, General's itemization and the way that Na'Vi have defended just set them like it put him back in the game. Otherwise, I think Vega would have just walked away with this one. I think the next Roche is going to be a key point. You know, did Na'Vi want to contest it? They should have Pudge BKB by then. He's actually got the money for it right now, but he's most likely just saving for buyout.
Yeah, still could definitely die if there's a lasso into a Doom or something along those lines.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they can kill him. But again, it's about how much you want to commit to the Pudge. You know, he's close to 3,000 health right now. It's not like a stiff breeze is going to take him down. You got to actually go on him.
That is one beefy bastard.
And just imagine, like, once you finish BKB, he gets like a plate mail or something. You know, maybe he wants to go Shivas or even AC sometimes in the late game Pudge. Just getting that one armor item just makes you unbelievably tanky.
Yeah, your effective HP shoots through the roof when you're already sitting on so much just natural HP to begin with.
Yep.
And they also have a pipe, so even more mitigation for the magic damage, which Vega did double down on a bit with that Veil pickup. Na'Vi itemizing pretty well here down the stretch as we see Vega sweep through the mid lane. Dendi hanging back. And Vega pushing in. They are looking to make a move here. Pretty much all this has been scouted as there's a ward right near the river. Also one up in the dire jungle, so nothing Vega's doing is a surprise to Na'Vi, but it doesn't seem they're too eager to fight outside the base, Trasco. It looks like they're going to instead focus on pushing out the bottom lane and just wait for the high ground attempt.
Well, when you have so many possible potential hooks from having the Aghanims up, like hook cooldown's only 4 seconds. So with that, you know, you can force Vega into another really awkward team fight. They're not going to have Aegis this time either, which gives you even more of an opportunity to defend. In general, look at him, man. He's pushing in bottom and top simultaneously. He's already forcing Vega back.
Look at those tree ants. Oh, God. Painful stuff for Vega. Might be death by 1,000 cuts. They'll hang on to the Ranger X for now, but eventually you know it's going to fall as they make the move, relocate onto Sealm of the Slayer. Dara jumps him up, and also the top lane. There has been a lasso, it looks like, onto the Nature's Prophet. And they may be able to run him down here as they're also working on solo in the mid lane, but he's very tanky. They get the Nature's Prophet kill it 1-for-1. And man, Solar on that Doom is not an easy grab.
He's stuck! Oh
Finally
my
gets
God.
pulled by the Reality Rift into the trap and then gutted by Dendi from behind. That is an ugly and very bloody way to die, but down he goes.
I would be so triggered if I was solo right now.
If I were Vega right now, with all the hooks and shenanigans from Na'Vi, I'd be pretty tilted as well.
It's just the way that he got Reality Rifted, that he got stuck.
Well, he goes for the Reality Rift again, but this time FN with the BKB, the cold snap is over again! Dendi with the hook! Saves the day, but Dara may end up going down. Tether! Oh, it was close. No cigar this time. No armlet toggle for you, sir. Sunstrike coming through. Kill off that pesky little ball, you bastard. Come back. They're running him down through the trees, but can't easily escape from Mag, and they will get the kill in the end. Vega grabbed 4. And that has to feel pretty good, but bottom lane, they lost the Ranger X. It's still pushing in. Is it good enough?
I don't actually think it is, because they can't do anything off of those kills. Like, what lane are they going to push?
Backing. Like, how depressing is that?
That's Furion, man.
Oh, tilting.
I mean, the funny part was General was actually dead for a good chunk of that. So this entire time, they're just chasing heroes around the map, not actively pushing in any of the lanes. And it just leaves time for General to respawn after the fact, and he's got level 3 on the Wrath of Nature, so all lanes just being pushed constantly. They have to dedicate a hero now to just salvaging bottom, and Doom just has no deep push because his itemization makes you believe that they just want to end the game. You know, this is not a late game transition Doom build by any stretch. He's not like a Furion where you can just buy a Maelstrom and a Blink and then all of a sudden just be fine.
Yeah, this is pure, just like aura kind of team fighting Doom. Dendi will grab. Oh god, what's the cooldown now? 2.8 seconds.
This is without even an Octarine. Octarine, it's like 2 seconds.
You can't. I feel like the hook spends more time coming out from the Pudge. Yeah. Like you can't even throw the hooks that fast.
It's actually just like playing Pudge Wars at this point. That's how fast you can throw hooks.
Oh man, if only there was a no cooldown hook, just constantly shooting them out in all directions. Oh, Vega, they might have the gold lead here on the gyrocopter, but it sure doesn't feel like they have the strategic advantage.
I mean, Navi's strategy is literally just general split push. We'll relocate on anybody going back to try to stop the split push. And then Dendi's going to hook for a high ground defense. That's how they're playing out the game. And it's been working phenomenally so far.
And well, Vega, they try to commit a smoke here top, but General, he knows something suspicious. Nobody on the map, those wards still giving a lot of intel.
They knew exactly where he was as well before he TP'd out.
But good map awareness there. And instead, it's Dara lumbering in. Are they going to find something here? They're rifting the creeps. They're closing in, and they want to find the IO on the backside. Dara gets pulled back. The IO very far away. Goes for the relocate, but couldn't get a range of Dara. He might have to BKB to get out of this one, Draskell, but the chase comes through. IO, oh, the hook gets off the mark by Dendi. Couldn't have caused him. Blinking forward. Mag doesn't kill him off, but now the Veil comes through. He's still backing. He's still retreating. Seneko with the long range feather. He says, get me out of here crouch style, who has been doomed. And meanwhile, that disgusting general is back doing dirty tricks top lane. He's almost taking a rage wreck through this. And he might even come back in for it. Navi, they're just out scrapping Vega here. He's hiding behind that one tree and finally does end up going home. Oh, it looks so good. Everything seemed to be falling into place. The IO looked to be dead. The relocate fail. CK so low, but they couldn't finish any of them, and then Prophet just gets away.
He's abusing the fact that they really only have one reliable way of initiating on him, and that's the Batrider. So as soon as he sees the Batrider commit lasso to Ditchera, he knows, oh, I'm safe. You know, I have BKB. Worst case scenario, the Doom TP's back and casts Doom on me, but the Doom doesn't have a blink either.
I mean, is there anything that Vega could possibly do? Like any very unusual items or strategies to take Navi out of their rhythm here?
I think they need to ward for the Furion. Just
like hill wards and stuff?
Yeah, the hill wards would be nice, and just making sure that you're focusing him, because this is the guy who's actually making all the space. Like, the relocates only come out because they actually have vision because of General, so if you just go on him, I still think they're stronger in the fight. The only problem is they lost Rax bottom, so every time they do that, we saw what happens. You know, General just teleports behind, bottom lane's pushed in, no backdoor protection means you're just getting sieged. So I think General has to die. Like, if he doesn't die, and they're taking these skirmishes out on the map, they're just gonna get ratted to death.
Well, speaking of which, ranged Rax down. You can have an Aegis, Navi says. We're more interested in the bigger objectives, the ultimate ones. They do grab their third Rax of the game. Only 3 remain.
Oh, this is good, actually. Solo has Shadowblade. So Shadowblade is going to make General's game a lot harder. As soon as he sees that item, because he can't really afford to carry around detection, that will make it a lot harder for him to justify sitting in a lane. You could get scouted out while you're sitting in the trees, as long as, you know, you blink into a part where there is actual pathing. If you blink into a spot where you can't get to, then he'll be a bit safer. But that's going to change the dynamic of General's play a little bit here. He'll have to be much more conservative, not going to be able to just sit up there and be a nuisance like he was before.
And he does seem to be the key hero. Should he die, then Vega might actually be able to break out of this Navi.
Well, the Doom can 1v1 him now, because if he casts Doom and just gets like 1 or 2 Infernal Blade hits, he's dead. Like, they don't need to commit a lot of heroes.
He's got the Alpha Wolf as well, so
yeah,
I think he just straight up wins that fight.
Yeah, you just annihilate the Furion. There's no way he can do anything. So this is a really big step in the right direction here from Vega. They are down a 1.5 sets of racks right now, which is still a little bit annoying, but at least they have an answer now that's not just Batrider for the Furion. And having multiple ways of dealing with him makes General have to play a much different Dota game.
For Navi with this advantage, they haven't closed out the game yet. Any key points that they need to be focusing on is, Solo making the move. He is going to go with the Doom on a Dendy. Infernal Blade gets unleashed, but that's a tanky punch. It's not going to be an easy kill. More heroes chasing it. Seneko there to try and bring him back up, and well, it goes glimpse back. This could be trouble for Dendy. Can they lock down the Io and keep him out of the picture? It looks like they can. Seneko relocate, not enough in the end, and is going to be forced to back off towards mid.
Well, he tried his best. Unfortunately, like we said, Doom pretty damn good against Pudge.
Yeah, and that was with the IO support. Still manages to get the kill as General goes for the BKB TP, but the rotations have come in. Now the boots of travel on the gyrocopter. They are finding the mobility, Vagar, to catch Navi off guard with their pants down. 3 dead just like that, and critically, the Nature's Prophet has fallen, so they can push in bottom. Top is also getting driven towards the Navi base. These are the 2 lanes where Rex are either exposed or gone. So there will not be a free melee Rex here for Navi this time.
This is the best position I think Vega's been in the last 20 minutes or so. Yeah, mid's pushing, whatever, but General's dead. You might even be able to force him to buy back, depending on how much you want to pressure this. With the Aegis, especially on the gyro, this is a super strong timing for them.
Oh, they're looking for something. Deyara, he does have a Phantasm available here. Is he going to make the move? They hold Solo in position. They're going to throw out the Chaos Bolt. Now pulling him back into an army of Knights, and Solo drops quickly, hacked to bits. But a pretty good Disruptor counterplay, isolating those illusions while the Gyrocopter works on the tower. Will bring it down. But they want to back now. They know the hook man's coming.
Blake.
He's got the Blake ready. Dendy looking for the jump. It's a straight hook on the FN, who stores the Aegis, though, not the ideal grab. And now they're going to lasso Dendy. He's going to BKB and look to turn this one. FN going to work against the CK Illusion army. Flat Cannon is going to be enough, it looks like. They bring down the CK. The IO just a bit too slow to save him. Sunstrike coming through. IO about to go splat. That's 3 down. The hook's too late. Not there with the save. Nature's Prophet. He's home. He's defending. General Even's gonna blink in, throws up the Sprout, and looks to engage, but the gyrocopter of FN still at the front lines. Io with the buyback, Bait as well. They're looking desperately to hold the line here. The hook comes through, but this time Dendy off the mark, and FN finally Vega. They take her first Rax, and it's a melee at that, flacking off the tower. In comes the tornado. They gotta be careful not to die back on these heroes, but look for the hook. Sleep to set it up. Dismember at the ready. No save for FN, at least not yet. Batrider coming in. They're gonna try to counter initiate this, but he turns. He fights. He still has the Aegis. He lives through it all. They're gunning them down. Navi have lost 2 more. The Bait as well as the Pudge out of the picture. It's up to General now. He's the man who can hold it, but Mag is already on the hunt. Blinking out, chasing forward. They want to isolate this Prophet. There's the play break. General, you can't afford to die, my friend. And there's no less, so he will make it home. But Vega says, screw it. We have objectives on the brain. And it's now the melee racks towards mid. Seneko, cold snap, control. This could be another dieback. It is the jump hits. The Navi are crumbling before the mighty onslaught of Vega. Oh, well, CK, can he at least salvage this a bit? There's the crit. The kill secured. FN now. Okay, well, he's out of there too.
Well,
so
I mean,
TP's home.
After all that, they did commit a couple of diebacks from the side of Navi to defend, but, you know, Vega got 1 Rax. That was a super strong timing to them with the Aegis, and Dendy, he just had to turn around and try to hit the gyro. If he turned around and just auto-attacked, I think he would have had a much better chance of living, because he was still at like 60% health when he started running away. So yeah, okay, he's got a butterfly, but you can't just expect you're going to miss every single auto. As he once said, you're going to miss every hook you don't throw, so you might as well just try to auto-attack him. If they had done that, he dies, spends like 5 seconds respawning, Dendy gets back to well, maybe even lands a hook on the Aegis, and then you can kill him again. I think that was a huge misplay by not just going for the auto. Cost them a lot there, because Dendy didn't have buyback for that engagement, so they end up losing the top set of racks, the tier 3 drops. Vega with a really big power play there.
And now, all of a sudden, a massive gold advantage as well, with the map control more equalized, up to 20,000. That gyrocopter that was once not even the top of the net worth, now 28k net worth, with a Basher and a likely Abyssal Blade en route, but they have scouted up Silma here, looking to go. There was also a last one on the backside of the fight. Can they catch the kill? The Goose up with the Ditya Raw. It's up to Seneko to get him out safely. Remember, a lot of these heroes either don't have buybacks or will be dead for a very long time. If they die back, then Seneko get him out safely. Infernal Blade comes through, and there's the relocate back out.
Thank goodness he didn't die, because if he just bought an MKB, so...
Would have been possibly the game even.
Yeah, because there's boots of travel on a lot of Vega heroes right now, so they can just like bot in FN. They can use a Mag even to teleport on top of FN if he wants to, because he has travels too.
Navi are walking the knife's edge right now.
Got it. The funny part about this game is it's like they're so far behind in terms of golden experience, but just the way their team functions, they don't need to be ahead, especially with a CK having the MKB now. Like a CK with these items can destroy the gyro in a 4-second stun. Like, just absolutely murder him.
And he is the MKB now, so the evasion is a non-issue.
Yeah. Mag.
They are gonna find Mag. Actually, it's the CK who gets initiation, just hacking through him. Does manage to drop the lasso though. This could be big. That Yara controlled for now. Seneko trying to keep him alive. BKB comes out and turns on the Invoker while they grip FN during his own BKB. So both carries having their struggles in this fight, but he just goes to work, finishing off solo on the Doom, and now slowed down control by the Ice Wall, driving them back. Artsail will fall too. That's 2 heroes without the buyback. The Doom actually has it available. And Yara's down. That's 3 down for Navi. It's all up to General now, pushing in the bottom lane, but is he doing it fast enough? It looks like he wants to back. He's gonna TP top. This may not be the play at all. Vega just straight down mid. The range rack's gonna fall. The melee too. They can even sweep bottom for a 3rd lane. Navi out of buybacks, running out of gas. They may just slowly starve to death here beside the highway. It's all up to Dendy. Look for the hooks. What's it gonna be? Swing and a miss. That's not gonna get the job
even
done.
if he does hook him, I don't know if he's gonna
that
kill.
Gyro has a Basher.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the Abyssal for the CK, I think.
Or another hook, another miss. Navi may be on their last legs here, and perhaps their first loss, I think, since I got here a couple of days ago. And it comes on the back of an iconic Dendy Pudge. At long last, they will wrangle him and they will punish him. Vega get their sweet, sweet vengeance. Nobody from Navi in their base at all. The game of Rat has ended, and now FN proudly diving the enemy well to end this one with style.
Oh my
punishing Seneko. A triple kill for him, but he will be counter-punished by General Sprout. 4-step back out, turns with the Satanic. He's not even gonna die, dropping the items in the well. The manner plays all around. God, this must feel good for Vega. They needed it desperately, and they do end up getting it. There's the GG call.
Man.
Jesus. Everybody's dropping their items. This feels like a game of Diablo at this point.
It really, really does. I don't really know what to say. It was a Pudge game, that's for sure. I mean, Dendy landed some really clutch hooks, kept him in the game for a long time, made a couple of misplays. I still don't know about the second item Aghanims. Personally, I think Blink, even like stuff like Blade Mail is so strong when you have like an IO, because your effective HP is so high. You pop Blade Mail, walk into the middle of the team, you just do a ton of damage. But you know, Dendy's the Pudge master. I'll say that it was probably fine from his part.
So how viable do you feel Pudge is? Is this
I think
still
he's-
not a pick you really can
I
turn
think he's
to, or-
good.